All right, guys. This is beautiful Glendale, California.
Beautiful.
I mean, at its finest, right?
At its finest, Roberts.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Get Into It. Hey, this is the 28th episode. We're doing the 28th and 29th. But
My age.
yeah.
Oh,
And,
that's right.
You want to, since you guys are buddies, you want to introduce your friend?
Oh, my God.
But ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Courtney Lopez.
Woo! Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
One of the first times I met Courtney, I'm going to call you Masa.
That's fine.
That's the
Masa,
other thing. Is it
Courtney.
Masa or is it Courtney?
Yeah.
Which one are you most comfortable with? I'm really curious.
Well, no one ever called me Masa until I met Mario.
Yeah.
And that's because he hates my first name.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everybody's first
I
name.
think he likes you, right, Davey Dave?
Well,
Oh, Davey Dave is a
David
nickname.
Dave, I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
true.
Hey, you know who came up with that name, by the way? It's Machina.
Machina did? Oh, good.
Like 20 years ago, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't like my name either. Who's Rodney? Rodney. That's what he says. Anybody says, oh, Rodney. Rodney. Who's Rodney?
But I always say, how great is Mario? I mean,
There we go. There we go. Here we go.
Here
He
he
kept behind the
comes.
phone.
Here he comes.
Lopez lost his phone about 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, we already
got it.
We're already into it.
He's gonna keep picking up phones. He's just my phone. Where's my phone?
Say a prayer to St. Anthony.
Lopez found his phone. All right.
If you haven't figured it out, we are on location at the Lopez residence.
In the
You found
car.
it? Okay, great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't see it.
It looks
a
like
new
it
one.
blended with the seat.
Yeah.
It was like that. It blended with the seat. And I even do a hand swipe.
You're interrupting our show here, buddy.
I don't know that we have to explain it, but Courtney Lopez is Mario Lopez's wife.
Yes, I am.
A little nervous. Last week we did it from Otto Nimmons, like the famous camera shop.
We also drink tequila.
And
Next-
Modelos.
Next week, you should do it from AutoZone.
AutoZone.
You should just pick the most random places.
There we go. I like that.
You should.
Yeah.
All right, let's not get off topic.
Yeah.
We are.
You're
It
going
is,
to cut a lot of this out anyways.
oh, they're showing.
Before we start, we're like 20 minutes in. That's messed up.
Let's get some energy. Let's get back. Rana?
Let's do it.
All right, Mario, you ready? You done?
I'm done. I'm not going to say
Okay.
anymore. Go ahead. The music okay? Or I'll change it.
No, it's terrific.
No,
too
you
loud?
can't hear it.
No, you can't
Okay,
hear.
perfect. We're on top
We're
of it.
directional. All right, you know what? We're going to start over.
You want to go from the
Yeah,
top?
I'm going to go from the top.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 28th episode of Let's Get Into It.
28, Roberts.
Yeah, we're here in beautiful Glendale, California.
Yep.
It's about 80 degrees.
One of my favorite
I'm
places.
sweating a little bit.
See that.
We're at the Lopez residence, and our very special guest today is Courtney Lopez.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you. Clap a little louder, please.
Oh, my God. Courtney, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for asking me.
I
I
kn-
was kind of shocked
We were
that you did.
begging you. Well, look, I'm a huge fan of entertainment in general. I think the show's a huge fan of how their careers develop. You've had a pretty amazing run. What I'm talking about is Broadway. You know, something that very, very few people ever get to do in their careers, in their lives. Some of us
And
get
it's
to
not
view-
easy.
No, some of us get to view it. No, that takes real talent.
Yeah.
You know,
But early on, she did. I remember I saw an ad. Weren't you, as a little girl, you played like this poor refugee, right? In an ad.
This is really sad. So growing up, I modeled, locally.
Yeah.
But I did this Toys for Tots campaign around the holidays, and it was the radio commercial, the print,
Yeah.
and the TV commercial. And I was portraying a homeless child.
how old were you?
Gosh, 7?
Oh,
I was
wow.
about to say you were young, so you got into it pretty early on.
Oh, yeah. My mom started me early, and my sister was performing, so I started at 3.
And where were you? Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. #412.
Wow.
412.
So when you were growing up, when you were little, was it your parents that got you into performing, or was it something you wanted to do?
I started dance at 3 at this little local Dolly Dinkle, we call it, dance studio around the corner from my house, and it was called Mary Ann School of Dance, and it literally was one room, and the ceiling was so low, and but it was in our neighborhood. And then when my sister's 10 years older than me, so when she went to high school, she went to a performing arts high school. So I saw her perform on stage, and I was 5 or 6 when she did her first show. So that's kind of when I got bitten by the bug, and then I did my first show at 6.
So when you were 3, is it the sort of classes that we all take our kids to?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I mean, those are fun. Does real dancing happen when you're about 7?
Yeah, I went to this place called the Civic Light Opera Academy, where they had 3 different places by the time I went to college, but they had every teacher under the sun, moon, and stars who was the best of the best in Pittsburgh at this one specific place. And my parents couldn't afford it. So when I was 8, I auditioned for this, 7, I auditioned for this performing group called the CLO Mini Stars, which Zach Quinto was in with me. He's Star Trek and all these movies. A few famous people are from Pittsburgh, and they were in this group with me. So I got in this group at 8. So once I got into this group, they had this academy where they would train people, and they knew my parents, didn't have a lot of money, so I was always on a scholarship to go to this.
That
place.
means you have real skills, Masa.
Yeah, for sure.
At 7,
But I mean, they saw something in you where, like.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so I just trained there, and I was training with, the best of the best, starting early.
So what was your sister doing while you were doing this? Was she also performing?
So she just practiced at the high school, at the Performing Arts High School, and then she went on to college when she was 17. She went to DePaul University for acting, and then went into...
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Gina?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and then she went into voiceover work, and she did voiceovers for many years.
Wow.
For McDonald's and tons
That's
of
big money.
big things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she became a voiceover agent, and now she's in advertising, but...
You know what? That's a really cool story for the show. I mean, as a side note, that she was a performer when she was a kid. She went to a performing high school. Yeah. She went into voiceovers, and then she became a voiceover agent. All in the industry. Yeah. All sort of right turns, left turns. Right. It depends where you go. So that's really cool. Okay. So then you were in this academy. You were performing with great talent.
Yes.
People that come out. There's great talent that comes out of Pittsburgh. And at what point did you get the feeling, you know what? I think Broadway and performing on stage is the way to go.
Well, and let me just rewind. One of my first shows I saw at Kappa, it was a creative and performing arts high school that my sister went to, was a medley of West Side Story songs in which Billy Porter was singing Maria.
Right.
And we have it on VHS somewhere. And I don't know if the lights went out in the middle of his performance, but he fell off the stage. And then he kept singing. We have that somewhere. So I was surrounded by all these talented people, and I had no clue.
Right. Is that the show that...
Yeah, that's what made me think, I think that's what I want to do. That looks like a lot of fun. I mean, I was already in dance and also gymnastics. I was on the team, I think, at like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then my parents couldn't afford that because you have to pay for every little thing.
Right.
So they pulled me out of that once I started the CLO Academy.
So at this point,
I started the performing group at 8, I think, 7 or 8.
So then you saw the show. And so after that, what was your trajectory? What was the first thing you got?
I got, let me think. So the CLO Academy, to explain this, the academy where we trained is separate. And then the Benedum Center is kind of like our Pantages here.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have their own summer season of 6 shows. And they would always try, it was cheaper to get local talent than bring kids in from New York. So I started early there doing shows during the summertime. And the first thing I did there was Showboat, and Joel Higgins, I played his daughter. He was from Silver Spoons. So I was doing shows with people like that. And the Civic Light Opera is one of the biggest summer stock theaters in the country. A lot of people audition for it all the time. And it just happened to be in Pittsburgh. So I was lucky for, all those famous people to come and Anna Gasteyer, Nell Carter. I mean, I performed with so many people there. Yeah. It's in my hometown, just downtown from where
That's amazing. When I was 18, I was an usher at the Schubert Theater here in LA. Mm-hmm. And I knew nothing about stage, but I'm watching all these performances, and a lot of the performers were TV actors and movie actors. You don't realize how much talent people have. And as time went on, I started to realize that a lot of people started on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people started dancing, and then they matriculated to film and TV and all those kinds of things. And you start to notice, like, oh, wow, that guy that never sung on Hill Street Blues is like the lead in this musical on Broadway, and he's killing it, you know, and you never knew that he could sing. I find that fascinating. I think it's really neat. And, you know, I don't know because of cost or some, especially now, you know, you go see Hamilton even, you know, and you got to pay $250 for a seat. You know, they made it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive to really get a great seat, to really kind of get in it. And he did a great thing, right? Where you can get a ticket, like there's 30 tickets given out every night at $10 or $20 or something.
Yeah, well, on Broadway they have the lottery.
Yeah. That's all of Broadway does that?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they have the lottery, and you go at the show's at 8. I think you can go. I don't remember the time exactly, if it's at like 4:00 or something, and someone stands in the lobby, and you go and you put your name in, and they have a certain amount of tickets. I remember a chorus line was $25.
Yeah.
And if they pull your name, you get house seats, which are right in the front for $25.
Oh,
which are the
But
best
you just have to
seats
go
in the
and
house.
put in the tag.
Or like the summer stock, like you were saying, get smaller theater groups like that, you can go and see performances, right?
Oh,
You don't
yeah,
have
but
to go
the
to
summer
big...
stock in Pittsburgh was not small. It was, God, was it 5,000 seats? It was huge.
That's why you were getting
Pricey?
such big actors
It
to
was
come.
huge.
Well, was it pricey too? Or?
I mean, yeah, if you wanted, but there were so many seats. If you want to sit in peanut heaven, you can. But you know,
Peanut heaven. I've never heard that before.
Is that a theater
is that
term?
a Pittsburgh thing?
It might be a
Peanut
stage
heaven?
thing.
Yeah.
Peanut heaven. That's
Oh,
hilarious.
I remember going to pirate games on Buck Wednesday.
You sit with the peanuts.
I don't want to lose sight of what we were talking about because it's great. No, it's okay. It's okay. No, but it is great because you're doing these Pittsburgh shows at a really great theater that a lot of people want to perform at. You're doing the best shows, that tour the country. So you start auditioning for the shows, and then you start getting some of the shows. Were they bringing in choreographers and directors from New York to do these shows in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Okay.
And once I turned 18, I was away at college, and
Where'd you go to college?
I went to the University of the Arts in Philly.
All arts. So it was all show business for you.
I went to a performing
All
arts
the
middle
time.
school, then
Oh, wow.
high school. So I danced in middle school, and then I would dance 4 hours every day after.
I think when I was a kid, I would watch Fame, and I'd be like, I can't believe that's a thing. That you can go to a school where people are wearing leg warmers and walking to English or whatever it is.
You want to wear leg warmers, Robert?
Robert, is that what you-
I think I did, dude. Look, I'm much older than you guys. I grew up in a time where staying alive was the thing.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool because you were in entertainment your whole young life, and you were training. And by the way, dancing on Broadway is not an easy thing to do. You have to be extremely well trained because they don't look at you for a long time, right? I mean, you have to go up there and perform almost immediately, and they teach you a dance in minutes, and then you have to perform it.
So once I turned 18, they have their ensemble, and they hire, I don't remember, was it 8 dancers and 8 singers for all the 6 shows.
Oh, really?
So you literally would have a week to rehearse. That show would open on a Tuesday. That Wednesday morning, you would start rehearsal for the next week's show and then perform the other show at night. So we were learning full shows in a week.
Wow.
And so and I did that for 6 summers while I was in college and then after. And it was good for them because I could live with my parents. They didn't have to pay to put me up, but then I was getting this incredible experience.
Right.
And I was meeting incredible people. For instance, Andy Blankenbuehler, who went on to do Hamilton and In the Heights. He had just started choreographing when I worked with him, and he was a fan of me. And then he was doing a show in Atlantic City 2 years after, and he said, will you come and do this show called Nights on Broadway? And it ran for like 5 months, and I went and did that. And so you meet these choreographers early on in their career, and if they like you and you dance the style that they dance, they take you to different places. And I was so fortunate I met the right people, and when I got to New York, I think that also helped me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you're talking about probably the most important choreographer in the last 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is, right? I mean, The Heights was an enormous show for Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
And then he went on to do Hamilton. But I thought Hamilton had a really small cast, and their choreography was very very unique and interesting, and they all had like multiple roles. Did that happen a lot, like having multiple roles in shows where you play different characters and you have...
Well, it happened in summer stock because they don't want to, if they can get by.
You can't pay that many people.
Yeah. But it depends on how big the role is. If it's completely obvious, Yeah. But luckily, because of summer stock, I was able to do shows that I probably would never get cast in, like Miss Saigon and Dreamgirls, which,
amazing.
I was myself, but with summer stock and the ensemble, you use who's hired. You can't. You don't bring in new people. So
going back to what you're saying, you worked with these great choreographers, and when you got to New York, they were doing shows, and they would remember you. Are you treated differently when you know the choreographer and he knows what you can do?
I don't think you're treated differently. I just think for me, it was more of a. I was at ease.
Yeah.
I even if I messed up, I felt like they knew my capability and what I could do, and there wasn't as much pressure. Now, it still doesn't mean they'll hire you,
right?
Because they're not the only ones making the decision. You have to still sing and read for whatever you're reading for.
And is there a lot of dancers in New York?
Oh my God! You just
because they come from all over the world. I mean, Broadway is the place to go.
And every year there's a whole new.
The only place, you're right.
There's a whole new crop of graduates that come. So it's kind of like, at my age now, if I was still there, I'm an elderly person. I mean,
I don't know about that much.
No.
Really?
Absolutely, in the business, there's always, new people coming in and people that are better because the training just gets better. The expectations are better and different. I didn't do a lot of hip hop back then, and now it's like hip hop is such a huge thing, Right. So there's always somebody that's going to know more than you and do better than you. So it's,
And so it was very competitive, I bet.
Oh, yeah, very competitive. Yeah. And you would see the same people all the time because whatever your look was, that's who you were paired up with.
Yeah.
You
have to be a really well-trained athlete to be a dancer. Is there a toll that it takes on your body? Performing?
I'm not exaggerating when I say when I get out of bed in the morning, every bone in my body hurts every single morning.
To this day or back then?
No, now.
Oh, now.
Like the residual effects of dancing in 3-inch heels.
Oh, yeah.
And, luckily I don't have dancer feet, but they're, they hurt.
Right.
They hurt, and when you wear, I can't wear heels for very long, especially depending on what the toe is, how the toe is shaped. I mean, does a toll on your body.
Right. So it's like being an athlete.
Yeah.
Right? You play football or you play baseball or whatever you play for the few years that you do, and then you're hurting the rest of your life.
Well, 4 hours after school training, you were saying, right? When you were going to the academy?
Right. So I would dance every day from 1 to almost 4, I think, at school. And then I would dance from 5 to 9. Go right to dance.
That's amazing. So did you love it?
I did love it. But my sophomore year of high school, I begged my mom to go to what I called the normal school, where all my friends went in my neighborhood, which would have been my home school. And I knew the people in my neighborhood, and then I knew some of the people that lived in a sister neighborhood, close to my house. And the very first day that I went there, this one girl thought that I liked her boyfriend, who I knew because she lived near my cousin. And I won't say what he looked like, but I did not like him. Right. And I almost got beat up my first day there. And if it wasn't for my next door neighbor, Cammie, who everyone was afraid of, she was so quiet, but she would beat you silly. Like you did not want to fight her. I would have got beat up almost every other day for doing nothing. Like people were just judging. So, and my mom said, if you go and you do all the paperwork, you can go because I don't want you to leave Kappa. She was devastated.
Yeah.
But you know what? She let me leave that year. My junior year, I went back to Kappa.
You did.
She let me experience it. But Kappa was just, everyone was so accepting. You didn't have, back then, what I experienced at this other school. I mean, we were just all performers. We loved what we do. We were there with a focus. We were there for a reason. And at this other school, people were just there.
Yeah.
You know, they were cutting school. They weren't. They were just there.
Was there shows there? Was there?
I think they did, but I didn't do it.
You weren't part of it?
I kept it a secret. People knew what I did, but I didn't flaunt it. I didn't want people to make fun of me or to judge me or, whatever.
So when you went there, did you take a break from it? Did you?
I still trained after
Oh, you did?
school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, for people listening, what were you thinking you were going to do now? Like, what are you thinking is going to happen? Are you going to direct? Are you going to go into acting?
Film, TV.
Yeah, they have different ideas of what it's going to look like.
I was always working, so I was content with that. I guess I could have reached to do more things and been more ambitious, but I was just happy being on stage.
Well, because you were doing something very few people get an opportunity to do.
Yeah. And when I was in a show, I just prayed that it lasted long, but that doesn't always happen. So
did you get on some that lasted?
No.
No.
So I toured for almost a year in Thoroughly Modern Millie, and Rob Ashford was the choreographer for that. But prior to that, I went to this open audition for this new Broadway show called Princesses. And it premiered at Seattle Fifth Avenue. That's where in Seattle, they do a lot of pre-Broadway shows. And then we thought, oh, this is so great. We're going to Broadway. And I was young. It was like I just moved to New York, and then they didn't have any funding. They didn't have all the funding, so it got canned. Yeah. But Rob Ashford was a choreographer, so when they were replacing somebody in Thoroughly Modern Millie, he had called me in for it, and then I got that. So even if you don't get something, you never know that those people remember you for something else that they think you're right. I always tried to force myself to go to every audition.
Yeah.
Just so they could see me.
Right. I mean, so I think that's pretty cool. I mean, when you're doing what you always dreamed about doing, that's your dream.
Yes.
So you're working in New York. You're going from show to show. I mean, these shows are 6 days a week, right? And a couple of matinees.
Right?
Yeah, a couple of matinees.
Yeah. There's 2 days. There's 8 shows a week.
What were you doing before Chorus Line? Before you met Mario? What were the things what were the shows you were doing before that?
Well, I left college after my junior year, which I never graduated because Andy Blankenbuehler had asked me to do the show in Atlantic City. And I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. I'm being asked to do jobs. This is why I'm going to college.
Yeah.
My senior year, I just had to fulfill some requirements. And I go, why would I stay and pass up these opportunities? So I left. And then after Andy, I got asked to do this other show. And then I got the Thoroughly Modern Millie tour for a year. And then I moved back to New York.
Okay. When you got Thoroughly Modern Millie, it's a mouthful. Where did that take you?
All around the U.S.
Really? Did you come to L.A.? No.
You know what? I missed a lot of the good cities because I didn't open the tour. And at the beginning of the tour, that's when they do L.A. and they do. So, I got to visit some special places.
Yeah. What's it like when you go from city to city? Are there some cities that are more excited about having theater and others that are not, or are they all about the same?
No, they're all about the same, which is great because in these small cities, that's their excitement.
That's their night out. They have their season tickets to that, right?
But it took me to Miami, South Beach, I remember, and when Mario and I were just there, I had deja vu. I go, oh, this is the theater. This is where I stayed. So, it took me back to 2004 and 2005.
So you finished Thoroughly Modern Millie, and how does a Chorus Line happen?
I had gone to an open call. I think it was for a vacation swing. So a lot of vacations were happening. So they needed to have a replacement to come be there when all these people went on vacation. So I went to an open call. My agent didn't submit me. I just went and got that. And then after I got the vacation swing, I worked a certain amount of weeks when people were gone. And then they called me back to be there all the time.
Nice.
Had Mario been cast in the show? Mario Lopez been cast in the show?
That was January of 2007, so he didn't come until February of 2008, I think.
Was it a touring show, or it was on Broadway?
It was on Broadway.
Okay, so you were on Broadway for 1 year. Was that hard work? That was hard work for 1 year.
It's like nonstop. You're
Yeah.
just nonstop.
It
going.
is.
Yeah, that's like that's harder than film acting.
You
TV
rehearse
acting.
from 10 to 6, and you are dancing from 10 to 6.
Yeah.
That's
Like
crazy.
over and over. Okay, again, take it from the top. And you do it. Unless they say, mark it this time, they want to see it.
And you're singing in these as well, right? So
Yeah.
dancing, singing, the whole bit.
You know how hard it is to sing while you're dancing?
No.
It's really hard because it's all, well, you don't, but it's all your core. You know,
Yeah.
your core's working really hard to
Yeah.
perform, and all of a sudden you've got to sing on cue. It's
That's
very
why
complicated.
A lot of, performers lip sync, and not that it's hard. It's really, really hard to do both and to do both equally and
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's so competitive. The minute you slip up, there's somebody right there waiting to jump
Yeah.
in.
So you come back. Mario's not in it yet?
No.
Okay. So how long were you on it before Mario shows up?
I remember having a conversation with my friend who was in a chorus line with me and then went to do Crybaby with me. We were both kind of on the same schedule, and I remember him saying, "Did you hear that Mario Lopez is coming to do a chorus line?" I go, "Really? Really?" And it's not that we weren't saying anything bad.
No.
As performers, we know that they bring in celebrities to try and sell tickets, and we just know how hard we work, and then we know how much they get paid when they come in, and we get paid like nothing to do all this hard work. So we're haters a little bit.
Right.
Well, that's with film, too. You bring in a star, he comes in, you pay him a bunch of money, he shoots one day, and then he's out.
Yeah.
And they use him, you know what I mean? And you're like, really?
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, $1 million. But
Again, dating yourself. How long ago was that? Jesus.
I know, dude. Is he still alive?
Oh, God.
Broadway dancers and singers and performers are all union, right?
If you're on Broadway, you are union.
You
Yeah.
are, right?
Yeah.
So you're taken care of a little bit. There, you've got insurance and
Yes.
yeah. I mean, that's important.
Well, you have insurance if you work a certain amount of weeks.
Right.
If you're on a Broadway show that, rehearses for 2 months and then only lasts a month, that might not meet the criteria of how many weeks. You have to work a certain amount of weeks to get coverage.
Yeah. You got to work a certain amount.
Yeah.
Any type of
Even
union.
actors, you got to make a certain amount of money.
You got to make a certain amount of money, put in a certain amount of time, or you don't get your benefits.
Stop bringing me down.
I'm not. I'm just
I'm
telling
just
you,
kidding.
keeping it real. Aren't you in the Directors Guild?
I'm not. I'm in the Producers Guild. It's of no use to anybody.
No.
I shouldn't say that. I'm not
You're
going
the
to say
Directors
that.
Guild Demonster.
Guild of Monster.
Oh, the
the
Directors-
Producers Guild of
Yeah,
Monster.
yeah.
What advice would you give somebody who has a dream to be on Broadway or to be a dancer or
Singer,
to be singer and to be in
performer.
shows to perform?
Well, coming from a girl that had, besides seeing my sister perform when she went to high school, I mean, nobody in my family performed. Nobody in my family did anything like this. It just shows you that anything is possible as long as you put in the hard work. And, there's, like I said, my sophomore year of high school, I got burnt out, and my mom reluctantly let me take that break, even though she was totally against it. But it made me realize the potential that I had, and to just not give up, and just keep doing it every single day. Like it's a full-time job. It's
Yeah.
a full-time job, and that's the thing with people when they move to New York. Now rent is even more astronomical than when I
That's
lived
hard,
there.
yeah.
And when you're auditioning, you have to work for your rent, and you're auditioning. So it's trying to manage working a full-time job to make ends meet,
Yeah.
plus auditioning. I was a coat check girl, oh my God, for this club at the Supper Club next to the Edison on 45th or 44th, can't remember. And I would work Friday night and Saturday night. And luckily it was enough to get me by. I wasn't, rolling
You
in
weren't
the dough
balling.
or anything. But I was able to free up my mornings. I'm a terrible waitress. I could, horrible.
You could sing and dance your plate to the table. though,
Horrible.
couldn't you?
I worked one day in a wine restaurant.
Oh,
Horrible.
no. Oh,
I didn't
no.
even drink. I couldn't even.
How many glasses did you spill?
I worked one night. It was horrible. But I would just say to just keep doing it. And it doesn't matter if you think you're not right for something. If you think, listen, I got Little Mermaid. I didn't, and this is not telling people to do this. I went out with Mario the night before. Didn't prepare my audition song. Didn't have the right shoes. Didn't even read the sheet. but I kick butt.
Right.
And I think it's just from all the repetition of going to auditions and
When you're well trained and you've been doing it over and over and over and over for years, and you've got to do it one time, you were also probably in a pretty good mood the next morning.
Easy, Roberts. Easy,
calm
Roberts.
down. First off,
This guy.
it took him a long time to get this, so
Yeah.
I don't even know if that
right,
point he
girl.
had it.
All right. Just
So-
wondering. Well, maybe
I
I'm
remember
just.
being really, really tired and pretending to be a fish the next morning.
Tasty like sashimi left over from last week. I
No.
remember her song. I saw
Wow,
her.
listen to you.
Listen, I would just tell people the same cliche thing. You just can't give up. You have to have faith in yourself, and if you don't have faith in yourself, fake it. I faked so many things, and I have just as many insecurities as everybody else to this day.
But
Yeah,
I
you're an
think-
actor, so act.
I think the unique thing about you is that you loved it.
I did love it. I never had a plan B, never knew what I was going to do. Thank God I was rescued by my prince because, you can only do what I was doing for so long. Like I
Right.
said, my
Yeah.
body hurts so bad now, and I'm 30. I'll be 38 tomorrow. But
Well, happy birthday.
thank you.
Shout
I
out
know-
to Elaine, your mom too, because I know your mom well.
Oh,
and
man.
she she pushed you, right?
My mom did push me, and I see her doing it to my kids, and I love it.
Yeah.
I have a video somewhere of my mom. I was little. I was 4 or 5, and I'm standing in our downstairs family room, and I'm singing with a microphone. And God, what was I singing? She'll remember. And she's not yelling, but projecting like, do it this way, sing louder. And I remember with the microphone, I threw it on the ground and I said, what do you want me to do? and that was like, but I can just see her sitting there in her nightgown, just, doing what she did the best. She gave me the confidence that I needed.
Yeah.
And
Moms and dads are important, man. They got to get you there. They got to help you. They got to guide you. You know,
you need a guide, man.
you need a guide through it. That's beautiful, though, Tootie. Thanks for mentioning that because that is important. It's
Thank
nice.
you.
It's nice to thank moms and dads for pushing their
especially-
kids and supporting your kids.
they both worked and they both didn't have the money. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to get on a scholarship to be trained, but I took it very seriously. And
You got on a scholarship because you were talented.
Well, and I
too.
think Elaine saw the talent, saw the desire, and said, you know what, I'm really going to follow through and help my daughter achieve her goal. And you never stopped. She's been with you the whole time, which is
she's
great.
been with me the whole time.
And
yeah.
now she's
That's
with your
really
kids,
neat.
which is awesome.
That's
I mean,
really neat.
I cut school and I wasn't a bad kid. I mean, I never drank, I never smoked, I never gave her any problems like that. But I cut school that year. I remember getting in trouble. But then when I went back to the performing arts high school, I would cut school. But I would literally tell my one teacher, I'm going to Wendy's. Do you want anything? And I would leave. And then I would leave to go tanning.
Yeah.
And then I would come back to school. I mean, the stuff that I did back then, I can't even picture doing that today.
Yeah.
We all did it, I think.
Not me, man.
Yeah. Oh, not you? You were straight? Okay,
kid.
good for you.
Knock it off, Davy Dave.
Well, look, I want to recap. You were in performing arts school probably most of your life.
Yes.
You were a talented dancer and singer and actress.
Yeah, I've heard Masa sing when she first started dating Lopez, but he would
Song.
put her on the spot. We were in the back of an
He still
SUV,
does.
and he was like, "Come on, Lopez, and you don't stop. Come on, sing." She was like, "I really don't want to," and he's like, "Please, for me." And then she started singing, and it was like your jaw dropping, like, "Oh my God!" Like it was a Broadway performer next to me singing like. No, you're really good.
Yeah.
And
Super
see,
super
you
talented.
didn't have to pay the price of those
I did.
tickets,
That's
so-
why. Well, I never told you this, but Lopez, after we get out, of course, he says, "Hey, dude, give me $10." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Courtney sing. I got to take care of her." No,
That's hilarious. You pursued your dream. You performed on Broadway. And you did what lots of people dream about doing and sometimes don't get there. So I think the cool thing about this is that you can do it no matter what it is you want to do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always come in the same way, in the same package, You may not have a supportive parent. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't get there. Or if you do, then,
But
that's awesome.
The formula doesn't change.
The
though.
formula does not change.
And I also have to say, and this goes for any profession you're in, just be nice to everybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never know when that person is going to resurface back in your life, or what that person can do for you maybe 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road.
Very true. Very true.
Well, that's beautiful. So
You're beautiful.
so all this stuff happens in your life, and you get to Chorus Line. You hear that Mario's getting the job on Chorus Line. I mean, were you interested in him at all at that point?
No, I was not.
No. Really? It wasn't even a
Did
thing?
you just listen to the podcast? She's a performer, and he's a celebrity, and she's pissed off that he's coming
Well, I'm
because
just
they're going to pay a
wondering.
bunch of money.
Well-
And she's been at this her whole life. Come
Yeah,
on, Robert.
But if you're in a show and some beautiful girl gets cast in it, and you're thinking, I've always liked her. She's really cute.
No, that's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, so they're going to bring her in here. She
They're
has
gonna
no
pay her-
experience. I've been doing this my whole life. My feet hurts, my leg hurts, and they're going to pay her a bunch. They're going to pay her a bunch of money. No, I'm not happy.
So Mario gets a Chorus Line. You hear about it.
Yes.
You talk about it with your friends, and so what happens? How does it happen?
So because I would go back and forth to a Chorus Line, I knew all of the choreography and the roles. I never rehearsed. So when they would call me, they would say, so I did cry. Let me rewind. I would do Crybaby. I did Crybaby. That was very short-lived. That closed in June of 2008. Literally, we got the closing notice that Tuesday for that Sunday, and the company manager of a Chorus Line called me and said, will you be back? Can you come back to a Chorus Line that next Tuesday? So literally in a week, I'm just going back to a Chorus Line, no rehearsal, no nothing. So there wasn't any time that I got to meet him away from the stage and away from, all the lights and everything. I just remember meeting him stage left, wing 1, while everybody's stretching right before the show. And the company manager said, I'm going to introduce you to Mario. And I remember him saying to me, he made some excuse about his dancing or something. And, nice to meet you. I'm still learning, or I'm still getting into it or something. And I remember I said to him, well, I'm not watching you. I'm watching what I'll be doing. I mean, that's, it was very like, it's about you already, but he was still very charming.
Right.
And I just remember laughing and that was it. And then we would just talk when he was backstage, which was not really often because he's in the audience a lot.
Right.
If you remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's always,
But my friend Nick, who played opposite of Mario, I guess had said to him prior to me coming, I have this friend who you would really, really like, but she's doing another show. She used to be in a Chorus Line. And when I came back, he said, this is the girl I was telling you about. And that was it. So Mario, I guess, was just trying to get us to go to dinner. And then finally, after a couple weeks, I said, okay. But I said, Nick has to come too. So I really didn't talk to Mario that much, But
I mean, what it sounds like to me is that Mario had his eye on you really early on, and
Mario
you're talking
had
to
his
Nick
eye on
about
a lot of people back then. He was dating somebody from this other show. He was dating whoever. So I'm not stupid.
Okay. I want to make this romantic.
So I said, okay, we'll go to dinner, and that's not going to hurt anything. And Mario was late, so I left.
He was late?
Tight.
Yeah.
I
Are
like
you kidding me?
No,
You left?
I needed my sleep.
But what about Nick? What did Nick do?
We left.
Oh, you both left.
that.
Yeah.
Damn, so Lopez showed up and you guys were gone?
I don't know if Nick told him we left, but I wasn't waiting. I
Good
think it was
for
like 20
you.
minutes, but he was late.
Good for you. Well, this all started off really interesting, right? Where he's like, "I'm sorry, am I dancing?" And he's like, "I'm not watching you, pal. I'm doing my job. I'm
Remember,
getting
this
paid
was
to do this
after
too."
a show that we were in together. So I was killing time, and I guess he went to get drinks with Katie Couric or something for some business thing. So he just overbooked himself, which he does all the time.
Happens. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you leave. What happens next?
So he tried to get another dinner date for like 3 more weeks or something.
Wow.
And you were like, "Yeah."
And I would see him at the show all the time. And finally I felt bad.
Yeah.
And I said, okay.
I have this image, right? Like it's that it's like Staying Alive, one of my favorite movies, right? That everyone's sort of.
Staying Alive is one of your favorite
It really,
movies.
I'm sorry, it
Come
is. I'm
on,
admitting
Robert.
it. But in that movie, there's always like all this drama going on, but they've got to rehearse. So like there's people rehearsing and there's people dancing, and then there's John Travolta looking at the girl he likes from across the thing, and they can't talk because they're always doing stuff. Is that how it was?
My dressing room was on the floor of his, so he would have to walk past my dressing room to get to me, so he would always like peek in.
Yeah.
to see if I was.
Oh my God, this sounds so fun, man. This just sounds like a blast, right? Dressing rooms and Broadway, and
missing dinner dates.
Let me tell you, I knew I was just potentially another notch on the belt, so I wasn't. It wasn't hurting my feelings. There was nothing invested. It was just a fun little flirtation. Of course, I thought he was beautiful and gorgeous, and on top of that, very charming.
Yeah,
I mean, everything he said was very charming.
Well, you guys also connected on a much different level spiritually because you're married and you have beautiful children and you have a beautiful life together. And that didn't just happen last year. It's probably started happening from the moment you met. Mm-hmm. The moment you said, "I'm not looking at you, pal."
He was like, this one's not going to be easy to crack.
Yeah, well, then you kind of sealed your fate on that one, right? So you finally go out to dinner. When do you start thinking this could be something?
Well, I stayed at his place. Well, the show was closing, actually. I remember our first time where we did the sneaky was on my mom's birthday, and I'm all, "Happy birthday, Mom."
Happy birthday, lady.
No, I remember because it was her birthday. Was July 17th at 11:50. No, I'm kidding. I don't remember the time. But then the show was closing August 16th or 17th. So I basically just kind of moved in with him for the last month of the show.
And during that month, did you feel this is something that's deep? It feels like a deep relationship that we may have.
I didn't know. I didn't have much invested into it because he was moving.
And you guys were so young, I guess. You were really young. So maybe
I was a baby. I was
so you weren't
not
thinking,
even 26 yet. I was 25.
So maybe you weren't thinking that far. You were just thinking it was a nice time.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get invested because he was leaving.
Yeah.
But he would come back on the day off because he was doing ABDC. So he would leave me at his apartment. And I thought, wow, this guy really trusts me. Does he really know me? I could be like some crazy hoe,
Yeah.
But I ended up just being a hoe.
Thank God. Well, thank God you were neither.
Can I say that on here?
Yeah, of course. You can say anything you want. You know what, guys? I have to say, there's always, every week, there's a new composer, a new album of music that comes out on Extreme Music.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a library and it gets old and it gets stale. ExtremeMusic.com has weekly new albums, new music in all the different genres. So if you're working on a show, if you're working on movies, there's new stuff all the time.
Yeah, because if you don't find what you're looking for one week, you could wait a couple weeks and go back, and it might be there.
I wonder if Extreme Music has Broadway tunes. I mean, we're sitting here talking about Broadway, so let's do a test. Let me go to the site and see if they have anything. Here. Okay, here we go. There are 41 results. Oh my God, there's hundreds of songs. Let's go with the very best of Werner Touts. And this song is called Off Broadway.
I mean, it's amazing that composers can be coming up with a different way to do drama and comedy all the time, but it is, it's an art of figuring out how to get new things going constantly.
Yeah, and like my string out that I'm looking at right now, although I'm going to have a music supervisor, I'm thinking in my head, because it's rough, right? It's a string out. Music means 50% of your movie. At least, right? It sets the tone. It sets so much for your film.
Yeah, you're right. Music ends up being 50% of the enjoyment of the movie, right? So if people are watching it and they love it, 50% of their love is going towards the music. Yeah, you're right.
Some filmmakers, they think of music, or writers, I should say, have music songs in their head as they're writing. Did you know that? Scorsese does that when he writes.
I like to do that. I'd like to think like that, too.
Yeah.
What mood is this? And I can always think, oh man,
and then
I want to hear I can hear the Smiths playing over this right now, or something like that.
If you're in film, if you're in TV, if you're doing shorts, if you're doing commercials, whatever you're doing, check out ExtremeMusic.com. They've got it all.
Hold on, let me rewind here. Going back to that moment where she's saying, I was with Lopez in New York. You guys were seeing each other, and I remember him telling me how much he likes you and how much we'd already met. think I stayed at your apartment.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so I remember we were on the plane flying back, and I said, "Dude," he goes, "I think I'm going to ask her to move out to L.A." I go, "No, don't do that. Why would you do that?
Oh,
This
thanks,
woman."
Judy.
Well, no, let me explain.
Gosh.
What we just went through. I go, "This girl has gone her whole life to get to Broadway, and she's here, and now you're going to move her? I mean, dude, this is everything she." And he just kind of looked at me like,
Wow, you got a heart. Listen to you.
No, I was
Beautiful.
like, well, no, I knew how much he liked her, and
Yeah.
I knew how hard it was what she was doing.
She had
and
a
I was
career.
like, yeah, and I was like, but he goes, no, I really, I think she might be the one. So then I was like, well, if you think that,
He
then
said, "I
do
think
it."
she might be the
yeah.
one."
I go,
Wow.
don't do this. If she's just like some chick you're hooking up with, that's one thing. But don't invite her. Make sure you're honest with her and you're real with her. And he said, I am. And I was like, wow, okay, this dude's hanging it up. That's it. And so, and then I think I talked to you one night. And
We did. I remember.
Yeah, and you said, I'm just so tired of it. I said, you are? And she goes, yeah. You said, yeah, I'm just.
The traveling.
The traveling, the that.
Yeah.
So then
even the dancing and everything, you were ready to kind of like.
Then Teddy went back and said, okay, remember what I said last night? Forget all that. Invite her to Los Angeles. Yeah.
Well, when he told me how serious when I saw how serious he was,
Yeah.
then I was like, well, dude, yeah. I mean, if you're being truthful, if you're being honest, and you really see a future with her, then do it. If you're just having fun, then don't do that, dude. Like it took her whole life to get to this point.
Yeah.
Don't dick out.
You have produced together. You're on the radio show together. You just booked a part on Ashley Garcia.
I did. Yes, I did. And
Nice.
I did not get it just because of.
No.
Honestly,
No. I kept hearing from the showrunners, the executive producers, the casting director that you were amazing, that you really fit the role, and that you did a great job. So
I heard from the consultant on it that you're amazing.
really? No.
Mr. Robert.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I think because my life here, the people that I've met and the friends that I've met here know nothing about how my life before Mario, and they've never seen me do anything like
Right.
that. They've never seen me really do anything. All they've seen is anything I've ever done with Mario.
Right.
So it's not like it's crazy that I would be playing a role on something.
No, well,
'cause
here's-
it's something I've done my whole life.
Here's the funny thing is, I know that you said you were a little nervous coming in to do the table read, but the reverse was going on with the casting director and with the people on the show. They were like, "Oh my God, she's been on Broadway."
Yeah.
Oh, you're lying.
I'm not kidding. I mean, they're like, this has got to be nothing for her, because I think what is true about our business is I think people that make it on Broadway are considered
The best.
the best.
The
of
best.
the
The
best.
best.
And
Yeah,
I
agree.
think, and I think when you have an actor that's worked on Broadway that comes in and reads, that you just hold them in a different light. Like those people are people that have worked very, very hard and look at literature and look at scripts in a much different way than someone who's just been an actor their whole life. So I think people were expecting great things, and you delivered great things. You did exactly what you do.
Thank you. And theater is in a league of its own. I mean, nothing against, actors in film and
No.
television, but I just think that when you perform on the stage, you get a whole different kind of education.
Yeah.
You have one shot
Yeah.
to deliver each night, and
Well,
Will you go back? That's the question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
not right now with the kids.
All right.
I can't even. It's just nuts with the kids and their schedule, and I'm like an 80-year-old at heart. I am so tired all the time. I don't know how some of my friends in New York who are still performing have kids and do that 8 shows a week.
Right.
Wow.
So no, not right now.
But are you thinking you'll keep producing with Mario? You'll keep acting.
Right now, my main focus are the kids, and whatever comes, then I'll open it. I'll welcome it with open arms. And the radio show's great because it's still. I'm working, but it's so simple, but I still feel like I'm doing something. I love doing things sporadically.
Yeah.
Because it still fills the tank of,
Creative juices.
Yeah.
You can go with.
I'm still doing something.
So you're doing enough to keep you fulfilled and to keep you in it. That's terrific.
She did this amazing role. It was like, I think she should have been nominated for an Emmy. She played the niece of a mobster. Her name was Frankie Margiano. Do you remember that? In The Good Life.
You know,
Shout out to The Good Life. You don't know what I'm
that-
talking about, Robert.
I don't.
That
Oh
was,
yeah,
My
I'm
web
sorry.
series,
Yeah,
you-
that's right. I do know. I do know what you're
that
talking about.
was very challenging, that role. I had to really dig deep, and I did a lot of research. And
Very
to this
deep.
Day, I wake up in the morning. I'm not kidding. Every morning, and I go, "Did I really play that role? Was that me?" Every morning.
Every morning.
And then I look in the mirror and I say, "Yes,
Yes.
it was you."
You did it.
Well,
you did
make
it.
sure you let people know where they can find it. Okay.
All right.
All right. Courtney, thank you for being with us on Let's Get Into It. It's amazing, your life, the trajectory of what you did, your mom helping you, coming from Pittsburgh, working on all those amazing shows. I'm in awe of anyone that works on Broadway. I love talking to you about it every time I see you.
I know you do.
I just think it's amazing.
Davey Dave never asks me.
Let's
I
get
love
in there.
Courtney.
Yeah.
What's my middle name?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Just kidding.
What's my middle name?
I know. What's my
Davey.
middle name?
Davey.
Davey Dave.
Davey. I can't believe where my life is right now. You know, we were talking about just how Mario and I met. If you would have told me back then, you know, fast forward 10 years, you're going to have 3 kids, and it's crazy.
Yeah. And you do it with grace. And watching you do that character the other day, I was just happy to see you back in it. It's fun to see you back in it.
Thank you.
I know times change. We all have kids. You know, you fight to keep doing your art sometimes. But, you know, the journey is sort of the thing, right? The journey is the thing. And I think your journey's been really cool. And thank you so much for sharing it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time on Let's Get Into It.
We're gonna get in. We got into it.
You got into it.